Thank you for joining me again today. We will get started seated. I'm going to start with a hip opener, meaning that we'll have the thigh bones rotating outward to help increase flexibility through the center line of the thigh or inner leg. So running from the groin all the way down to the inner ankle. And then we'll kind of go from there and just focusing a little bit on seated hip openers today. Once again, just a very brief time together. We'll get in about 15 minutes. So thank you. It's a pleasure and an honor to have you with me for this session. So I'm going to be seated on a block. You might choose to sit on a cushion or sit on a blanket. I will be transitioning to a blanket once I get off of this block, but I just want a little bit extra height because I'm just starting off. And just like you, I'm stiff too. So I'm going to pull one foot in. Doesn't matter which one, yes and no. Sometimes we talk about dominant leg, and that's one you should start with, whatever you feel like. I've done it both ways, always, and the result is still the same. Consistency is where the change happens, right? So I kind of like have the top of my foot rolling towards the floor, right? This is helping with the knee joint. Also helps start to stretch the inner thigh or the groin muscles. Got one heel in nice and close to the block. Going to draw the other heel in. My feet are not on top of each other, but visually they look like they are. There are people that can put their feet stacked on top of each other, which is perfectly fine. If you're comfortable doing that, that's fine. Let's say you can't pull your heels in this close. Well, you can always go to good old Baddha Konasana or a bound angle pose, also called butterfly. That's one thing I love about yoga. For every position of your body, there's at least 5 or 6, maybe even more names for the same pose. So I can see how confusing it can be for people that are new to yoga and trying to learn about it. And you hear this name and then you hear this name. It's like, which one is it? It's whichever one you can remember. So I know I'm taking some of the mystery away. So there we go. So I have one knee up a little bit higher. If I was going to be here for a long time, I would recommend that we fold a blanket and put it underneath there just to give it support. Once you feel unconsciously, you feel grounded and supported, the nervous system kind of slows down, not so reactive, and muscles will start to relax. Right? That's one of the awesome things about being grounded. Subconsciously, we feel it, we recognize it, and we can relax and breathe. So join me, seated upright, however you wish to have your legs. Close your eyes, and once again, I'm going to count. We're going to do 5 breaths together, and we're going for a count of 5 on the inhale and the exhale, just to get used to slowing down our breathing. Ready? Relax those shoulders. Perfect. So, closing eyes. Inhale into the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let it go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2. Last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Try to stay in that pace. Keep your inhalation, your exhalation kind of at the same pace. And if you forget and you start breathing through your mouth, it's okay. You'll recognize it. You notice it. Just mark it off and start over again. I'm going to change sides. Draw this one in. Top of the foot is rolling towards the floor. Here comes the other one. That's not dirt, that's a tattoo. Just in case. Oh, that's the way it is. So now my hips are fairly level. All right, and that's just because I have one side right now that's still recovering from surgery, and it takes a while for the connective tissue to recover from that. Right? So sit up nice and tall. You can relax those shoulder blades back and down. Think about rolling your biceps towards the ceiling. It really helps open up your chest because your shoulder blades press into your back softly. Take one ear to one shoulder. Try to relax those shoulders. shoulders down. Let's flip on over to the other side. Perfect. Gonna come back to center. All right, move that chin a little bit. And some shoulder rolls. Perfect. Sweeping those arms up on a big inhale, fill your side ribs. And as you exhale, back to midline or center, right? Sweep it up and let it go. Let's do that again. Inhale, reach up, wide. Reach actively out for your fingertips, right? And exhale back down to center. Here comes some side stretch, some lateral flexion. Before I go into that, I'm going to change the position of my legs. I am going to go into that bound angle pose. So continue to stretch the outer and the inner line of the legs. Right? Bring the soles of the feet together. Common question, distance between feet to groin, whatever you're comfortable with. I don't want to be rolling back, especially because I'm seated on a block. I don't want to fall off the back of the block. So I pull my heels in or my legs in to the place where I can still keep my pelvis level. And that's going to be different from everybody. The longer I keep my heels in, I just really feel the tightness, the tension. They're almost like rubber bands right here, so tight. Sweep up. So be at a place where you can breathe and relax. Ooh, we can really feel that on the side body. Up and over to the other side. Good, steady breath through your nose. Let's repeat that. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, stretch over. Inhale to lift. And exhale. Good, I'm gonna go over to this side. Pause here for a minute. Right. Stretch it out a little bit further. Maybe roll around on the wrist, move the fingers. Right, perfect. I'm gonna take my hand, take my palm between my shoulder blades. And instantly you'll start to feel more through the arm muscles. Get into that armpit. And let's flip it over. So you're gonna notice that lighting kind of goes off and on. I have skylights here, and today it's unusually cloudy, and the clouds are great big huge puffballs, and when they move over the condo, lights out. But you know what, it doesn't cost anything to have solar, right? It's nice. Everybody looks younger when they're under a skylight. That's not true. Around. Perfect, reach it up. And let it go. Awesome. So I'm going to transition down to the floor. I am going to still remain on a blanket just for that cushion because what the heck, why not? It's here, it's available, and what is our goal is to be comfortable so that we are consistent, right? No one wants to do anything that's uncomfortable, mentally, physically, emotionally, energetically. No one wants to do it. All right, so here's my yoga blanket. I can find these anywhere. And you don't have to have a yoga blanket. You can use just a regular blanket, whatever has some stability to it and that you don't mind sitting on. Perfect. Awesome. So going into cross-legged position for a moment. Everyone's a little different with this again. How close, how level. This is never lotus. You won't be seeing lotus here. No. Inhale, reach up. And exhale. Perfect. Reach it up. And exhale. Reach it up, big inhale, and exhale. So just working a little bit on the mobility of the spine, asking it to twist smoothly, right, consistently, not jerking the movement. Reach it up, and release it, perfect. Before we go into inner and outer rotation in the hip socket, I'm going to go back into that bound angle pose, Baddha Konasana. Cobbler, that's what I first learned it as, was cobbler, and butterfly. So like I said, lots of different names, but diamond shape, basically what it is a diamond shape, right? And I'm going to let those hands just rest on the shins or the knees lightly. I'm just going to kind of roll around a little bit. As soon as I do this, I feel, ooh, hip flexor on the left side. Perfect, just move a little bit, ask that lower lumbar just to kind of get some space. Help stretch those lower back muscles. A lot of work happens there. Keep ourselves upright. Awesome, perfect. I'm going to change my position. I'm going to rotate to the side just so you can see what we're going to do. I'm going to do a seated cat-cow. I'm going to do a seated cat-cow. So we're going to do a spinal flexion and extension. Feet are grounded. Hands behind the thighs just because it's the best place to put them. Pull it forward. Draw your shoulder blades together behind you. Use your inhale to fill your chest and lift it. Maybe drop your chin if that's comfortable for you. And then exhale, pull the navel spine. Oh, that's an awesome stretch right there. Inhale. Inhale. And exhale. So if you want to work on core strength, right, start to build some more core strength, more stability, balance, you don't have to hold on to anything. Right? We move to our level where we are at this moment. Perfect. Come back to midline or center. That was awesome. So here we go. We're going to take the thigh bone and we're going to roll it in the hip socket. We'll see how this goes. Here we go. Change my position so you can see it better. So I'm going to start with my feet about hip width, maybe a little bit wider, obviously a little bit wider, and hands back behind for support. You're at the changes. And I'm not going to slouch back into this because I'm trying to work on my posture, and hopefully you are too. And sit up tall, right? And then I'm going to very carefully let the hips or the knees roll to one side. Inhale to lift, exhale to the other side. Right? Inhale, lift, exhale. This is a very simple, basic movement. It involves a lot of muscle connections from the legs up to the pelvis. Please be careful. Take your time. Right? Also do it laying on the back, but today we're just doing it from a seated position because it might be a little bit more accessible and you have a better idea of how it feels for you. Perfect. Lift it and lower it. One more time. Lift and lower. Come back to midline center. Last time to this side. Come back to center. I'm going to change my position and a little bit of a hamstring stretch. So then be seated on the blanket. Stretch it out. Right? So here's one of those things. Over my time frame on my mat with all the thousands of people that I've met and worked with, one of the most common things you hear, because I always try to be an ambassador, yeah, you should try yoga, you should come on into yoga, try yoga. I'm not flexible. No, that's your mind not being flexible. That's your attitude not being flexible. If you weren't flexible, you wouldn't be able to walk, right? So, another thing I always hear is, I can't touch my toes. So the secret of touching your toes is using your knee. You bend it. You reach forward. Touch your toes. That's got to be like an old yoga joke. So I am respecting my hamstrings right now. I'm keeping my knees bent. I know it's hard to see with the cargo pants on, but so I got a good bend in my knees. And I'm flexing my feet, so I'm pulling my toes back towards me so I get that nice stretch to the back of the ankle and the calf. And I'm not rolling back into it, right? Rolling back means we got some tightness going on here, here, or here. It depends. We have to do a little bit more study. So I'm going to bend my knees enough that I can tilt my pelvis forward. I'm going to get that stretch in my back. Right? And over time, things will start to stretch out for you. Right? The goal is not to do splits in yoga. The goal is to be able to breathe in whatever position you put your body and to be relaxed and to connect with yourself at a higher level. That's good. Take the, oh, I feared that. Oh, I thought she was going to bark. The girls were sleeping, but I feel that. Hi, Tilla. Oh, big dog. Come here, Poopy. No? All right. Doesn't want to get in Maggie's way. Just stretching my chest here a little bit. Perfect. And release it. So I'm going to come back into a seated position with you and say adieu. Right? I want to thank you so very, very much for sharing some time together with me and look forward to seeing you again. Any questions or comments, feedback, or something you would like to see or focus on or learn a little bit more about, either put in a comment below or please feel free to email me at yogacreature@gmail.com. yogacreature@gmail.com. So, big inhalation up. Exhale down towards your heart. I want to thank you so very much. And until we meet again, namaste. Bye.